Hello, a very good evening to you. Welcome to ITV News and the late update from Calendar. And first tonight, police have named a little girl who died after being attacked by a dog in North Yorkshire. 10-year-old Savannah Bentham from Malton died on Friday afternoon. Her devastated family have paid tribute to their wonderful girl and have thanked those who've offered them support and kindness. Jenny Henry has spent the day in Malton.
I'm at Malton Police Station, which is just down the road from the village where Savannah lived with her family. Today, her parents are coming to terms with the loss of their daughter. In a statement, the family said today that they're utterly shocked and devastated by what's happened to Savannah, adding that they can't believe they've lost their wonderful little girl. It was around 4 o'clock on Friday afternoon that it happened. Savannah's family home is a property just beyond these gates. It was there that she was bitten by their pet dog. Despite a member of the public stepping in to help and a large-scale emergency response, sadly, Savannah couldn't be saved. At this stage, police are still trying to establish why the dog attacked Savannah, with all indications suggesting that she had a good, close, loving relationship with the animal. Today I spoke to people in the surrounding villages who all told me that they're extremely shocked by what's happened. One woman told me that her granddaughter was actually friends with Savannah and described her as a lovely little girl. She added that she knew something bad had happened straight away when she saw the huge emergency response. Another woman said that everyone around here knows each other and that everyone is just so sad. The police are yet to confirm the breed of the dog, but say that it is due to be put down. An inquest will take place in the coming days, and while officers here are continuing to support Savannah's family, the investigation into what exactly led to the death of this little girl continues.
Jenny Henry with that report. And witnesses have told an inquest that an Afghanistan veteran who took his own life at Catterick Garrison was told to man up, you're a soldier. Nicky Hart, who had a history of mental health problems, had also served in Iraq. His widow told the hearing that her husband loved his job. Katie Oscroft reports.
Well, this hearing comes 2.5 years after Nicky Hart took his own life at Catterick. He completed tours of duty in Iraq and Afghanistan and was working as a recruitment officer. His sister, Jamie Hart-Dobbs, came here to give evidence at the inquest and said that she was close to her brother, who'd attempted to end his own life several times in previous years. But she said he felt that he'd been disregarded when he went to seek medical help this time and that he'd been told to man up. This was echoed by a fellow soldier, David Twiname, who said he became angry when his friend implied that he'd been told to man up, you're a soldier. And in her evidence, Mr. Hart's widow Sarah described how she received a text from her husband a few days before he died. In it he said, "I'm sorry I've let you down." And it went on, "The army wants you to suppress all your feelings." Well, this inquest will last for several more days, and the family of Nicky Hart have said they hope it will provide answers to their many questions and concerns about how he died. Katie Oscroft, ITV News, Northallerton.
Passenger flights could be setting off from Doncaster Sheffield Airport from spring 2026 after a bidder was identified to reopen and run the site. Local leaders will discuss plans later this month to give Doncaster Council an extra £3 million to continue with negotiations. The bidder hasn't been named because legal and contract confirmations are still underway. The Mayor of Doncaster says a deal could be completed by Christmas. Leaseholders living in Leeds in buildings with dangerous cladding have told us more than 5 years since issues were identified, work to fix them still hasn't even started. It's as a report published today from the UK's spending watchdog has found more than 7,000 buildings across England with dangerous cladding are yet to be identified, and some might never be. The National Audit Office found that the government could miss its own cladding removal completion date if progress doesn't improve. Amelia Beckett reports.
It's out here that's the issue.
Robbie Laybourne bought this flat in Leeds city centre just months after the Grenfell fire tragedy. Little did he know his block would be riddled with similar fire safety defects to those which sparked that disaster.
Timber decking on the balcony needs to be replaced. This needs to be stripped off and the insulation changed for compliance material, and then the fire breaks also to be to be done into the external wall cavities. So.
But they are issues first uncovered here in 2020, and while fixing them should now be covered by the developer, no progress has been made. Meanwhile, hikes to the building's insurance means Robbie's service charge has almost tripled.
We're just sort of stuck here. We can't sell, can't move, can't remortgage, can't do anything.
Down the road, Rachel had to take her freeholder to court earlier this year to prove they were liable for the costs of fixing her building, 5 years after issues were first identified.
It's so incredibly frustrating because it's my home, it's the biggest investment I have, but I am absolutely powerless to influence those people who could do the right thing and make this building safe.
The Grenfell Tower fire brought to light a litany of failings by government building and cladding firms, uncovering fire safety defects in hundreds of thousands of flats across the country. But while the bill to fix those issues should be covered by either the government or the developers, a report from the UK spending watchdog has now warned progress is painstakingly slow.
Here in Leeds, there are dozens of buildings like Rachel and Robbie's. You can see behind me some remediation works are underway. But this report has found that 60% of buildings with dangerous cladding still haven't been identified. Nationally, that's around 7,200 buildings, which means the government target date of 2035 to finish these works is unlikely to be met.
Honestly, those who own buildings have no excuse not to be taking action on this dangerous cladding. There's been funding made available. They've got to make sure that they take the action that's needed, and the Deputy Prime Minister is taking this immensely seriously.
Rachel's freeholder, Grey GR, told us its priority was to ensure her building is remediated as quickly and safely as possible. Robbie's developer Lendlease has committed to remediating all live critical fire safety defects. We also approached his management company, but they are yet to respond. A response he's waited for 4 years, one of many still victims to this towering crisis.
Amelia Beckett reporting there. The mother of 2 boys from Penistone who were killed by their abusive father a decade ago was in Downing Street today to hand over a petition signed by 105,000 people. Claire Throstle's sons, Jack and Paul, were aged 12 and 9 when their father set fire to their home in 2014. She's demanding changes to the parental rights of abusive partners and a change in the law 7 years after first meeting ministers.
Today I'm here in their memory to make sure that future generations of children that access a family court like I did have a safer, brighter future. They haven't got it right. They're still failing victims of domestic abuse and children. And so we got 100,000 signatures. We've just handed the petition in for the second time, but now they have to debate it in Parliament. They have to look at practice direction and hopefully in a fair, transparent manner, they will take presumption out of the family courts.
A haul of illegal fireworks worth £10,000 has been seized in Leeds. Officers carried out a warrant at a property in Seacroft on Friday after receiving intelligence about illegal sales in the area. The force says it'll act on any report of them being sold illegally. Yorkshire Water is investing £150,000 in reducing sewage discharges in Whitby. The project will see 104 metres of the sewer network in Runswarp being renewed, with the aim of bringing down the number of discharges from the storm overflow into the River Esk, which flows into the North Sea. Work is due to get underway next week. And those are the headlines from Calendar. Now the weather forecast from Kerry.
It's looking like a chilly one. TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
Hello again. Finding something different to tell you is going to be a bit of a challenge during the course of this week. We've definitely still got that lovely autumn colour, plenty of dry weather ahead for the bulk of this week, but mostly cloudy and nothing too chilly by day or by night. Overnight tonight, most of those temperatures only dipping a couple of degrees compared to what we've had during the course of the day. Mist and mercury forming over the hills, possibly some dampness here, and a mostly cloudy, mostly dry story with the winds light from a mainly southerly quarter as we head towards dawn. There is sun time, 7:15 and 4:24. Tomorrow, misty, murky, poor visibility over the hills initially, slowly thinning and lifting, but leaving quite a lot of clouds still into the afternoon. East of the Pennines, maybe for parts of North Yorkshire, a little bit of brightness, dare I say it, 1 or 2 brighter breaks into the afternoon. But for most of us, we are mostly cloudy, mostly dry, average temperatures and light winds. So staying very quiet, high pressure nearby, no dramas weather-wise. There will be an increase in low cloud, mist and murk with the fireworks and the bonfires, but that dry story continues over the next few days.
TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
And that's all from Calendar for now. We're back again, of course, throughout the day tomorrow. Our first bulletin in Good Morning Britain just after 6. For now, from all of us here, a very good night.
We are back to make your Saturday mornings even more appetising.
Cooking up fabulous feel-good recipes.